Okay, in this video I'm going to show you how to do the one extra thing that we're going to do for our height data. So once you get your height data, you're going to do the same statistical analysis that we did before. I'm going to show you actually two other features that might be useful. So depending on how your numbers look and how you copy and paste them, you might get weird decimals like we have in this one. So if you right click on this row of numbers and then go to number format, you can change the number format. We're gonna have to do this for something else in a minute, but if we click on number, and then you can choose the number of decimal places so that we don't get all those weird wonky decimals. So that's the one thing I wanted to show you. And then the other thing was for the minimum and the maximum. I mentioned that you could just look and find it, but it's actually really easy. If you hit equals and then type in min, there's a function for the minimum. You highlight your data and hit enter, and it'll find the smallest one for you. Same thing with max. You type in the function max. That's it'll highlight the data. It'll find the biggest one for you. And then again over here, if we wanted to, we could highlight this data and change the number of decimals if we wanted to. But the part that I want to show you is the part over here for the bins. So we're going to create a histogram, and basically what a histogram is we divide up our data into chunks, and then we graph where the chunks are. So it's kind of spreads out the data a little bit, makes it a little bit easier to see for some people. So this is explained on page 137 in our Packadoe stuff. We have to do it slightly differently because it wants us to use a data analysis tool pack. But as far as I can tell, we can't do that with our online version. I'm going to put this is going to be on the class page for all the height data, so you can just copy and paste it into your own once you do yours. But basically this is the chunks of data that we're going to look at. So we're going to count the number of students that we have in this range of heights, and then the number of students we have in this range and the number of students we have in this range. So obviously my data is not going to be the same as the class data because this is just made up data, but this is what was provided on page 137. So you're going to use the actual class data. I'm just going to put in this fake class data here. Okay, so what this is saying is there's one person that's below 5 feet tall. There's nobody in the 5 foot to 4.5 foot range, and then there's 3 people in this range, 3 people in this range, and so on. So once we have everything in their bins, we are going to graph this data. So to do that, we're going to highlight everything. We're going to highlight the bins and the frequencies, and then we're going to go to insert, and then we're going to go to we want basically a bar graph or a column graph. There is an option for a histogram, but it actually doesn't work very well. So we're just going to go with the column graph over here, and there we go. We've got our histogram. We can create a title. There's a few other things that we can do with this. We can alter the axes title. So up here we can change the title on the vertical axis. So we can type in height, and that should be in inches. Actually, it's decimal feet, sorry. Decimal feet. And hit OK. And it doesn't look pretty, but it pops up over here. And then the frequency is good. So this would be a good graph. So what I want you guys to do is once you get your graph, you're going to go to the snipping tool, and you're going to snip the whole screen, save it as a picture, and then you're going to submit it for the assignment. And that's it.